I'd like to share with you a mini that I did last year. In fact, in October during Breast Cancer Week, there was a challenge on the Candy Shop Designs to make something that was pink for Breast Cancer Week. And I decided I'll make a little mini album about me. I usually like to do something about me every year. In fact, this is my second one I did because I've only been scrapping for a year and a half. And since my mom had breast cancer, I thought I'll do a mini about me, and just to celebrate my life and my wellness and my blessings, because sometimes we just take all these little things for granted and we just moan and sweat the small stuff and we don't appreciate what we really have. So my blog is I am Zephy and I love to scrap, and I thought I'll call this I am Zephy because this is who I am. These letters I had for quite a while, and I thought they would be lovely with my mind's eye paper here, the pink and the bit of gold. These are from K Company. It's the Madeline collection. I've also used brass rings or goldish rings from 7 Company. 7 gypsies, excuse me, plus my embellishments are slightly coppery. This is one of my little hearts that I found in a shop that sold supplies for florists. We don't really have a scrapbook shop in Athens, so we have to make do with odds and ends. This piece of cardboard is from the packaging of ice cream. It says the daily pleasure and the truth behind the scandal. And I thought I'll use that as a title. And I've done a Valmus flower there. This is a bit of shrink plastic with my initial on it. And the journaling throughout this mini is quite discreet, not very bold. One really has to look hard to see it because it's very personal. I also decided that I'll put an acrylic page between each of the cardstock pages because that way it will protect the photos, because sometimes one finds that the embellishments sometimes scratch the photos a little bit. So this just says be me, and once again I've done a lot of embossing with the copper kettle. You'll see there's some more here. I decorated most of the pages with the embossing powder. It just says be me. Most of the papers, like I said, are my mind's eye, which I really liked. So I've kept the papers open. My blessings, my children here. Once again stamped on the acrylic with brown stays-on ink, and then I've just used flowers from the paper to decorate here. This was a circular paper that I cut. I just followed the pattern of the paper and added a bit of acrylic at the back to make a photo pocket. I'm not sure what these photo frames are. I think they're making memories, but they're little stainless steel frames that are just alcohol inked and stamped. I put the photo on a piece of cardstock so it looks like a tag, so that goes in there with this behind it. Lots of different pockets in this album. This here is my new blessing, my new son-in-law, my daughter. This butterfly was actually a sticker, and I just stuck it on some cardstock and cut around it and put the little pieces of wire in between it, and I thought it made quite a nice embellishment. I've journaled at the back there again, and I've just decorated the basil with some clear embossing powder. Once again the acrylic with some rub-ons in this instance. The rub-ons work quite well because you can see them on the other side and they look pretty on the other side too. I had 2 more tags over here. This is an icon that I had scrapped that I kept a photo of. Once again, the writing quite discreet. It doesn't pop out too much. And that's another layout that I had done in the course of the year that I wanted to just record. And Wheezy was a great inspiration. This is her pocket with a little envelope corners inside. Thanks, Wheezy. This is a page of my hubby and I. This has our names on it. It was actually a little tag that came on a wedding invitation that I thought was quite pretty to tuck behind there. Some felt border that I just decorated, and again I embossed the pages. Here's another sticker, a rub-on this acrylic page. I've used the photos here as tag pockets. You can see I've just mounted the photo on an envelope, and it's got a pocket at the back. This is a Sizzix embossing folder that I cut the little daisies out of, and I just put a little bit of white to pick up the white dots. I don't know how well you can see it. There you go. So this goes in at the back here. Our next page, I've inked all the pages in pink. I like the stuff to all try and be uniform. I hate it, for instance, when the little white raised areas show, so I like to ink everything. Once again, I've used the photo as a pocket. This is a little folio again, inspired by Wheezy. This was on a tag of jeans. It looked like leather, so I thought I'd use it, and it said, "What kind of footprint will you leave?" and then again in French. So I thought that was quite a nice embellishment, and then I just added brown cardstock to try and match it up, and I made this folio, and at the back I used my Cuttlebug border embossing folders to make that. And this is a plain paper clip that I added 2 flowers on. You can see one on this side of the paper clip and one on the other, and I basically squashed the paper clip in amongst the 2 flowers. This was a plain white flower that I inked up green, so it looks like leaves, and a little bit of chiffon ribbon, which doesn't take very well to the heat gun, because when I embossed the flower, this ribbon shriveled up, so do be careful, because it's acrylic, it shrinks when heat comes onto it. This is a free download, Today and Always. Actually, I don't remember who that was from, that I printed on the computer. These were white flowers. I'll quickly have a look and see if I can show you what they look like. Once again, I found these at the florist supply shop. Here they are. Here's the white one. Can you see? It's just a plain white flower. It has little holes so that it can hang, but I alcohol inked it. And if you don't have alcohol ink, what really works well are just marking pens, a red and a black and so forth. So you learn to make do with what you have. Here I have 2 tags again. My favorite butterfly stamp embossed in the copper kettle, and a tag here to journal on. And this is the tag that says, "It is not a slight thing when they, who are so fresh from God, love us," from Charles Dickens. Strange, I didn't think Charles Dickens was so deep, eh? Another tag, quite a big tag here, to go into this pocket. Here I used the Fiskars ribbon punch and punched ribbon through it again, and add another green ribbon as a border. And then on the back of this tag I used a little angel stamp that I glossy accent and glittered and inked up, and then over here this is embossed. There we go. This is like a lilac stays on ink that I have. Once again, the little tags. I've got lots of journaling to do and another photo to still put in, and then I can put this little album away. Here's a flower again. Oh, this is my favorite stamp. I think it's a basic grey. It says, "I'm queen." Love using it. We need to remember that we are the queen of our castle, and we need to do things that please us. It's good for the soul. And this is an old book I found, a Don Juan book that I use my vintage paper from. Quite like it that it's in French. It just gives it another air. Cuttlebug embossing folder. Thought that made quite a nice pocket. And here's another basil tag. On this last page, I decided to put the photo on here. I don't know why. And then I've got another spot here for journaling so that the back of the photo can look pretty. You just cut two pieces of paper exactly the same. Excuse me, that's the lawn mower going. The neighbour's gardener is here, so I'll finish off quickly. And this is the last page of my father-in-law and I. Wilma's flowers, I think it is, again, with the embossing powder, a white flower and some leaves at the back, and a tag, and a bit of rub-on, a bit of everything on this last page. Thank you, girls. Sorry about the noise. Bye.